Have you ever found yourself reaching for a sweater while everyone else in the room seems perfectly comfortable? Maybe your hands and feet feel icy, even when the heater is on or it's a warm day outside. You might chalk it up to just getting older. But what if that constant chill was your body's way of whispering something more important? Feeling cold all the time isn't just about the weather or wearing the wrong clothes. For many seniors, it's a subtle but powerful signal that something deeper is happening inside the body. Something that has to do with how well your blood is circulating. You see, your blood is like a warm river, flowing through every corner of your body, delivering heat, oxygen, and nutrients. But as we age, that flow can slow down, and when it does, the warmth doesn't always reach where it needs to go. In this video, we're going to explore 7 possible reasons why you might be feeling cold more often, and what each of those reasons could mean about your health. Sometimes it's as simple as needing more iron or drinking more water. Other times it could be linked to your heart, thyroid, or the natural slowing of your circulation as you get older. The important thing is that you don't ignore the signs, because when your body starts to feel colder than it should, even when others around you are just fine, that could be a quiet warning that your blood isn't moving as well as it used to. And while that may sound concerning, the good news is that there are small, practical things you can do right now to warm up your body from the inside out. So if your feet feel like ice blocks, your fingertips stay chilly, or you just can't shake that deep down cold feeling, stay with us. You might just discover that your body has been asking for help in a gentle, quiet way all along. I know you are a person who likes to watch videos quietly. If you have not liked and subscribed to the channel, now is a good time to do it because you are a kind person. If the video is helpful, press 1. If the video is not good enough or needs improvement, press 2. Thanks everyone. Now let's get started. Number 1. Sluggish circulation due to aging blood vessels. Frank, 77, loves sitting by the window each morning with his coffee, watching the neighborhood come to life. But lately he had noticed something odd. Even with the sun shining and the heater on, his hands always felt cold, sometimes even numb. He would rub them together or hold the mug longer just to feel a bit of warmth. At night he wore socks to bed, something he never needed in his younger years. Is this just part of getting old? He wondered aloud. What Frank was experiencing is surprisingly common: sluggish blood circulation, and especially in the hands and feet due to aging blood vessels. As we age, the blood vessels, especially the small arteries and capillaries in our extremities, can lose flexibility and elasticity. In youth, these vessels expand and contract easily, helping blood flow smoothly to warm the hands, feet, ears, and nose. But with age, these vessels can stiffen and narrow, making it harder for warm, oxygen-rich blood to reach the furthest parts of the body. The result? That constant cold feeling, especially in your fingers, toes, or even your nose. Circulation is like a delivery system. When it's working well, it brings heat and nourishment to every part of the body. But when the pipes, your blood vessels, aren't as open or responsive, the delivery slows down. The further from the heart, the harder it becomes to get warm blood where it's needed most. This is why so many older adults experience cold hands and feet, even when the rest of their body feels fine. You might also notice other signs of sluggish circulation: a tingling sensation, slight numbness, skin that looks pale or bluish in the fingers, or a pins and needles feeling after sitting too long. These are all gentle signals that your circulation may not be keeping up like it used to. But here's the good news. You can support better blood flow with simple changes. Frank started small. His doctor suggested moving more throughout the day, even light leg movements or hand stretches every hour. Sitting too long can cause blood to pool and cool. So now Frank sets a timer every 30 to 45 minutes to stand, stretch, or walk for a few minutes. He also started doing gentle calf raises while brushing his teeth and circling his ankles while watching TV. Another tip that made a difference: staying warm not just with clothing, but by warming from the inside. Frank began drinking warm water or herbal tea instead of cold drinks, especially in the morning. Warm beverages help dilate blood vessels and gently stimulate circulation. He also began adding spices like ginger and cinnamon to his oatmeal. known in traditional medicine to support blood flow and warmth. His doctor also reminded him to stay hydrated. When we're dehydrated, something very common in older adults, blood becomes thicker, making it harder to flow freely. So Frank added a glass of water between meals and carried a reusable bottle throughout the day. That small habit helped not only with warmth, but with energy and digestion too. Now Frank still enjoys his morning coffee by the window, but he doesn't need extra socks or gloves anymore. "I used to feel cold and just accept it," he said. "Now I see it as something I can improve." So if you're like Frank, always reaching for a blanket or rubbing your hands together, your body might be telling you that your circulation is slowing down. But don't be discouraged. Movement, hydration, and a few small daily rituals can gently warm your body from the inside out. In the next part, we'll talk about another hidden reason for chronic coldness: low iron or anemia, and how a quiet drop in red blood cells can make your whole body feel chilled and tired. Let's continue with number 2, low iron or anemia. Number 2, low iron or anemia. Mary, 74, was always careful with her health. She walked every morning, cooked balanced meals, and rarely missed a doctor's appointment. But recently, she had been feeling colder than usual, especially in her hands and feet. Even on warm days, she reached for an extra sweater or wrapped a blanket around her legs. She also noticed she was feeling more tired than normal. "Maybe I just didn't sleep well," she told herself. But the tiredness lingered. When she mentioned it during her checkup, her doctor ordered a simple blood test. The result? Mild anemia caused by low iron levels. Anemia is one of the most common but underdiagnosed causes of feeling cold, especially in older adults. When you're anemic, your body doesn't have enough healthy red blood cells to carry oxygen throughout your body efficiently. And without enough oxygen, your cells don't produce as much heat, leaving you feeling chilly even when the room is warm. Iron is essential for building hemoglobin, the part of red blood cells that carries oxygen. When iron levels are too low, your red blood cells can't do their job properly. This can lead to symptoms like cold hands and feet, fatigue, pale skin, dizziness, shortness of breath, and even feeling mentally foggy. There are several reasons older adults may become iron deficient. Sometimes it's due to not getting enough iron through food, especially if you eat little red meat or leafy greens. In other cases, it might be due to poor absorption, as with certain medications or digestive issues, or slow internal bleeding that goes unnoticed, like from a stomach ulcer or colon issue. The good news is that anemia is often easy to detect with a routine blood test, usually called a complete blood count, CBC, and even easier to treat when caught early. That's why Mary's story is so important. She spoke up about something that seemed small, feeling cold and tired, and it led to answers. Once diagnosed, Mary started making a few changes. Her doctor prescribed a gentle iron supplement and advised her to pair iron-rich foods with vitamin C for better absorption. She added spinach, lentils, and a bit of beef into her meals, alongside orange slices or a small glass of citrus juice. Within weeks, she noticed she didn't need her blanket quite as often. Her energy improved, and so did her color. "It's like someone turned the heat back on inside my body," she smiled. So how can you tell if low iron might be affecting you? Do you often feel cold, especially in your hands or feet? Do you get tired easily, even after a good night's sleep? Is your skin paler than usual, or do your fingernails look more brittle? Have you experienced dizziness or brain fog lately? If you answered yes to any of those, it might be worth talking to your doctor about checking your iron levels. It's a simple blood test that can make a big difference. In the meantime, try including more iron-rich foods in your diet: lean meats, eggs, beans, lentils, tofu, spinach, and iron-fortified cereals. And don't forget about vitamin C, which helps your body absorb iron better. So pairing broccoli with chicken or bell peppers with beans can give your body a helpful boost. Remember, feeling cold isn't always about the weather. Sometimes it's about what's happening inside your blood. And just like Mary, you have the power to listen to your body, ask questions, and make changes that warm you from within. Up next, we'll explore another important but often overlooked reason for chronic coldness: an underactive thyroid and how it slows down your whole body's thermostat. Let's continue with number 3, underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism. Number 3. Underactive thyroid, hypothyroidism. Helen, 73, had always been full of life. She was the one at church who remembered everyone's birthday, and she took pride in baking the best banana bread in the neighborhood. But lately, something had felt off. She was cold all the time, not just in her hands or feet, but deep inside her body. Even when bundled in layers, she couldn't seem to warm up. She also felt more tired, a little forgetful, and noticed her skin had become dry and her hair thinner. At first, she thought it was just part of getting older, until a friend suggested she check her thyroid. After a visit to her doctor and a simple blood test, Helen was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, a condition where the thyroid gland doesn't produce enough hormones to keep the body running efficiently. The thyroid is a small, butterfly-shaped gland located in the neck, but don't let its size fool you. It controls your body's thermostat, metabolism, energy, and even how warm or cold you feel. When your thyroid slows down, so does everything else. Your heartbeat, digestion, energy levels, and even the speed at which your body generates heat. That's why one of the most classic symptoms of hypothyroidism is feeling cold, even when others aren't. This kind of chill isn't just in your hands and feet. It's a deep internal coldness, often paired with sluggishness, weight gain, dry skin, constipation, depression, or trouble concentrating. It can sneak up slowly, which is why it's so often missed or mistaken for just aging. The good news, hypothyroidism is easy to diagnose with a blood test that checks levels of TSH, thyroid-stimulating hormone, and other thyroid markers. And once diagnosed, it's very manageable, usually with a low-dose daily medication that replaces the hormones your body's no longer making. Helen started taking her medication each morning with water, exactly as directed. Within a few weeks, she began to feel more like herself again. Her body felt warmer, her energy started to return, and even her banana bread tasted better. Or maybe that was just her confidence coming back. If you're wondering whether your thyroid might be slowing down, ask yourself, do you feel cold deep in your body, even in warm environments? Are you more tired than usual, even after resting? Has your skin become dry or your hair thinner? Have you noticed memory issues or mood changes? Have you unintentionally gained weight? If you answered yes to a few of these, it might be time to have your thyroid checked. A simple lab test and a short conversation with your doctor could bring clarity and comfort. In the meantime, there are small things you can do to support your thyroid naturally. Make sure your diet includes iodine, found in iodized salt and seaweed, selenium in Brazil nuts and tuna, and zinc in lentils, nuts, and whole grains. Also, be gentle with yourself. This isn't about doing more, but about giving your body what it needs to work the way it's supposed to. So if you're wrapped in blankets but still feel cold inside, like Helen, don't brush it off. Your body might be whispering that something deeper is out of balance. And when you listen, you give yourself the chance to heal. Next, we'll look at another surprising reason behind that cold, sluggish feeling, especially in your hands and feet: low blood pressure or poor heart function. Let's continue with number 4, low blood pressure or poor heart function. Number 4, low blood pressure or poor heart function. Jim, 80, used to be the kind of man who never got cold. Even in winter, he'd joke about wearing short sleeves while others bundled up. But recently that changed. He started to feel chilled almost all the time, especially in his hands and feet. He noticed that standing up too quickly made him feel lightheaded, and sometimes his heart seemed to beat a little too softly. His doctor checked his blood pressure and found it was on the low side. That, combined with signs of mild heart weakness, helped explain what Jim was feeling. His body just wasn't pumping blood as strongly as it used to. One of the often overlooked causes of chronic coldness, especially in older adults, is low blood pressure, hypotension, or a heart that isn't pumping as efficiently. It's not that the blood is missing, it's that it's not moving fast enough or forcefully enough to reach the small vessels in the hands, feet, and skin. Your body relies on steady circulation to deliver warmth. When blood pressure is too low, or the heart isn't pushing blood strongly through the system, Your body begins to prioritize vital organs, like the brain and heart itself, and reduce flow to the extremities. That's why cold hands and feet, fatigue, dizziness, and a feeling of being chilled from the inside can all be symptoms of poor circulation caused by cardiovascular sluggishness. It's easy to dismiss these symptoms. After all, many seniors deal with low blood pressure or heart issues. But when coldness becomes persistent and you feel weak, tired, or faint, it could be your body asking for help. Jim's doctor made a few adjustments to his routine. First, they reviewed his medications, as some blood pressure pills were causing his pressure to dip too low. They also recommended that he stay well hydrated. Low fluid intake can lead to lower pressure, especially in older adults who don't feel thirsty as often. Jim also began adding small movements throughout the day to keep blood flowing, flexing his ankles while sitting, walking slowly after meals, and avoiding long periods of lying down without movement. One of the simplest tips that helped? Raising his legs for 15 minutes in the afternoon. This helped venous blood return to his heart and improved overall circulation. He also began eating smaller, more frequent meals. Large meals can sometimes cause a drop in blood pressure for older adults. Over time, Jim felt steadier. His color returned, and he even joked that he didn't need to live under a pile of blankets anymore. "I didn't realize how much of my warmth came from inside," he said, "until my heart started getting stronger again." So how can you know if low blood pressure or a sluggish heart might be affecting you? Do you feel faint or dizzy when standing? Are your hands and feet always cold, even when the room is warm? Is your heartbeat slower than usual or irregular? Do you feel tired after light activity? Have you ever been told your blood pressure is too low? If you answered yes to any of these, it's a good idea to speak with your doctor. A simple blood pressure check and a basic heart exam can provide important clues. In some cases, your care team may adjust your medications, suggest dietary changes, or recommend a light movement to encourage better flow. The heart is your internal furnace, not just a symbol of love, but the engine of your warmth and energy. When it slows down, your whole body feels the chill. But with the right attention and gentle care, even an aging heart can stay strong and supportive. In the next part, we'll explore how lack of movement and muscle mass contributes to feeling cold, and how even small amounts of gentle exercise can help warm your body from the inside out. Let's continue with number 5, lack of movement and muscle mass. Number 5, lack of movement and muscle mass. Doris, 79, used to enjoy gardening, walking around her neighborhood, and dancing a little in the kitchen while cooking. But after recovering from a fall the previous year, she slowed down. A lot. She spent more time in her recliner watching television, and while her spirit stayed bright, her body began to change. Her legs started to feel weaker, her pants became looser in the thighs, and worst of all, she couldn't seem to get warm anymore. Even on sunny afternoons, her body felt cold. Not just on the outside, but deep in her bones. Her doctor gently explained something that surprised her. Our muscles don't just help us move, they actually help us stay warm. Muscle mass is one of the body's greatest heat generators. Every time we move, even slightly, our muscles produce heat. That's why people who move more tend to feel warmer, while those who are sedentary or have experienced muscle loss often feel colder, even when they're indoors. After the age of 60, we naturally begin to lose muscle if we don't actively work to preserve it. This condition is called sarcopenia, and while it sounds complex, it's something millions of older adults experience without realizing it. And one of the quiet consequences, chronic coldness. When we lose muscle, our metabolism slows, our circulation slows, our ability to generate and retain body heat declines. And the less we move, the faster that process happens. It becomes a cycle. The more we sit, the colder we feel, and the colder we feel, the less motivated we are to move. Doris didn't need to become a gym member or start lifting heavy weights. Her physical therapist gave her a plan that was gentle, practical, and doable right from her living room. She began with just marching in place for 2 minutes every morning and evening. Then she added light leg raises from her chair, followed by a few gentle wall push-ups while waiting for the kettle to boil. She also made one simple but powerful change. She stood up and moved for at least 5 minutes every hour. Whether it was walking to the mailbox, putting dishes away, or doing a few shoulder rolls, movement, no matter how small, got her muscles activated and her blood moving. Within a few weeks, Doris noticed something wonderful. Her hands weren't as cold, her legs felt stronger, and her energy had lifted. "I'm still me," she said, "but now I feel like I'm warming up again, from the inside out." So if you're someone who finds yourself sitting more than moving, or if your muscles feel softer or your clothes looser in the arms and legs, your body might be telling you it's time to re-engage. Start small. Stand up and march in place for 1 minute before each meal. Do gentle shoulder circles during commercials. Stretch your arms overhead when you wake up. These tiny moments, repeated daily, signal to your body, "I still want to stay strong and warm." Remember, your body is built to move, not for marathons or speed, but for life. Even light daily movement can make a difference in your warmth, strength, and confidence. You're never too old to rekindle the fire within. In the next part, we'll explore another surprising but crucial reason your body might be feeling cold: dehydration, and how thicker blood from low fluid intake could be slowing everything down. Let's continue with number 6. Dehydration and thickened blood. Number 6. Dehydration and thickened blood. Walter, 82, was always careful about what he ate, but he never really thought much about drinking water. "I'm not thirsty," he would say. "Besides, I drink coffee with breakfast. That's enough, right?" But over time, he started to notice that his hands and feet felt colder than usual. His skin looked drier, and sometimes his energy dipped for no reason. When his daughter came to visit, she pointed out that he barely sipped water all day. She gently suggested he might be dehydrated. "But I don't feel thirsty," he replied. Still, he agreed to mention it at his next doctor's appointment, and that small decision may have changed everything. What Walter didn't know, and what many older adults don't realize, is that as we age, our sense of thirst becomes less reliable. Even when the body needs fluid, the brain doesn't always send the same strong signal it did in younger years. And when we don't drink enough, our blood becomes thicker, making it harder for the heart to pump and for warm blood to reach the hands, feet, and skin. In fact, dehydration is one of the most common and overlooked reasons older adults feel cold, tired, and mentally foggy. When your blood is well hydrated, it flows smoothly, like a clean river. But when your body is low on fluids, that river starts to slow, becoming more like syrup. This thickened blood moves sluggishly through your veins and capillaries, especially those farthest from the heart. The result? Your extremities, your fingers, toes, ears, and nose, start to feel cold because they're not receiving the same warmth and oxygen they once did. Dehydration also affects your body's ability to regulate temperature. When you don't have enough fluid in your system, your body struggles to warm itself up. And even mild dehydration can lower your core temperature without you noticing. So how much water do you need? It varies, but a general rule for older adults is to aim for 6 to 8 cups of fluid per day, depending on your activity level, medications, and health conditions. But here's the key. It doesn't all have to be plain water. When Walter began making a few changes, he didn't force himself to drink big bottles of water all at once. Instead, he started small. A glass of warm water with lemon in the morning. A cup of herbal tea in the afternoon. Adding more water-rich foods like soup, watermelon, cucumbers, and oranges to his meals. Keeping a small cup by his chair and sipping slowly throughout the day. He even made it a habit to take a few sips of water every time he stood up, just to keep it simple. Within 2 weeks, Walter noticed his hands were less icy, his energy more stable, and his skin had a healthier glow. "I didn't know water could make me feel warmer," he chuckled, "but it did." So if you're someone who rarely feels thirsty, or if you often go hours without a drink, consider this. Your body may be quietly drying out, and your blood may be slowing because of it. Feeling cold could be a gentle signal to pause and take a sip, not just for hydration, but for warmth, circulation, and vitality. Try this. Keep a small pitcher of water or herbal tea within arm's reach. Set gentle reminders to sip throughout the day. And choose foods that hydrate you without overwhelming your system. Soft fruits, broth-based soups, and smoothies can all support fluid intake. Remember, warmth doesn't just come from the outside. Sometimes it begins with a quiet glass of water and a promise to care for your body in small, steady ways. In the next part, we'll talk about how your daily meals and missing nutrients could be affecting your body's ability to generate warmth, and what to eat to support healthy circulation after 60. Let's continue with number 7. Poor diet lacking in warming nutrients. So many of us grow older and start to feel a little colder, not just on our skin, but deep in our bones. And for a long time, we're told it's just part of aging. But as we've seen in this video, that coldness is often a quiet signal. Your body's gentle way of saying, I need more care, more movement, more nourishment. Whether it's sluggish blood flow, low iron, an underactive thyroid, or simply not drinking enough water, there are reasons your body feels chilled. And more importantly, there are solutions. You don't need to accept the cold as your new normal. You have the power to warm yourself from the inside out. Small steps make a big difference. A walk after breakfast, a warm bowl of soup with protein, a cup of herbal tea in the afternoon, raising your legs, stretching your arms, and paying attention to how your clothes fit and how your heart feels. These aren't just routines, they're acts of self-respect. Your body has carried you through decades of life. It still wants to carry you further, but it needs your help, not in dramatic ways, but in small, kind, and consistent ways. So today, take a moment to ask yourself, am I giving my body the warmth it deserves? Am I listening to what it's trying to tell me? You are not fragile. You are not fading. You are simply at a point where awareness becomes your greatest strength. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If something in this video resonated with you, I hope it brings comfort and action, because sometimes a little warmth is all we need to remember how strong we still are. Thanks for being here today. We hope this video gave you something useful or meaningful to take away. If it did, please like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We share new content each week focused on healthy aging, wellness, and practical advice for living well. Tap the bell icon so you'll be the first to know when a new video is released. We're glad to have you with us. See you next time.